Welcome to Beyond English class, where English become easy and fun.
Okay, quick question. Have you ever walked out of a shop or hung up the phone and thought, why did that feel so hard? It was just English.
Every single day, even now, I'll order coffee and somehow still trip over my own words.
Right? And that's what today's about, because most of our day isn't big speeches or job interviews. It's tiny moments. Ordering food, asking a price, answering the phone, saying hi to a neighbor. And those tiny moments use the same 20 or so phrases over and over.
Which is honestly good news if you think about it.
It really is. Welcome to Beyond English class. I'm Grace.
And I'm Daniel.
If you're a B1 or B2 learner, this conversation is for you. And if you're a strong A2 learner, just relax, listen, and enjoy.
So Grace, let's start with the shop example because I think everyone's been there. You walk in and suddenly your brain forgets every word you know.
Completely. And I actually think about daily English like a toolbox. You don't need 100 tools hanging on the wall. You need the same 10 or 15 that you reach for constantly. And you need them within arm's reach so you don't have to think.
I like that because when my toolbox is messy, I panic. I start searching for the right screwdriver and meanwhile the customer's just standing there waiting.
Exactly that feeling. So today we're organizing the toolbox together. 20 phrases you'll actually use, not textbook English nobody says out loud.
Can I tell a quick story? This happened my first month living abroad.
Please.
I walked into a bakery and I wanted to ask for a coffee to go. In my head, I had this whole formal sentence prepared. Excuse me, would it be possible for me to purchase a coffee? And by the time I finished thinking it, the line behind me was 5 people long.
Oh no.
The woman at the counter just looked at me and said, "Can I get you something?" 4 words, so simple. And I realized I didn't need my fancy sentence at all.
That's such a good example because can I get is one of those tools you use constantly. Can I get a coffee? Can I get the bill? Can I get a minute? It just slides into almost any small request.
And once I heard it a few times, I stopped building those long formal sentences in my head.
Which brings up something listeners tell me all the time. They think they need to sound impressive to sound fluent, but actually sounding natural means sounding simple.
That's the part that surprised me most, honestly. I used to think longer sentences meant better English.
I think a lot of learners feel that, but native speakers barely use complicated grammar in daily talk. We use short, warm phrases, and we lean on tone and timing instead.
Okay, give me another one then. Something small talk related, because that's where I still freeze sometimes.
All right, picture this. You bump into a coworker in the hallway. What do you say?
How's it going?
Perfect. And here's the thing. Nobody expects a real answer. It's not a medical question.
Right, you don't launch into your whole week.
You just say, good, you, or can't complain, and keep walking. It's more like a little wave made of words.
A wave made of words. I like that. Actually, that connects to something that happened to me last week. My neighbor asked how I was doing, and I panicked and told him about my broken washing machine in way too much detail.
Oh, Daniel.
He just stood there blinking. I think he wanted good thanks, not a full repair report.
See, that's such a relatable mistake, though. Learners often think politeness means giving full information, but politeness in small talk is often about keeping things light.
Noted. Lesson learned. The hard way.
Let's think about the phone now, because that's a whole different fear for a lot of people.
Oh, phone calls are brutal. No face, no body language, just voice and speed.
Totally. And most daily phone English is actually simple. Can I take a message? I'll call you back. Sorry, can you repeat that? These little rescue phrases save you constantly.
Can you repeat that saved my life more than once, especially with fast talkers?
Same. And nobody thinks less of you for asking. Fluent speakers ask for repetition too, all the time.
True. I ask people to repeat things in my own language sometimes.
Exactly. It's not a fluency problem, it's just being human.
Okay, here's a question for our listener, actually. Think about the last phone call that made you nervous. What was the moment you froze?
Maybe it was ordering delivery or calling to book an appointment. Hold that moment in your mind because I promise by the end of today, you'll have a phrase ready for it.
I like that we're building this like a real toolbox, piece by piece.
We are. And one more everyday spot, errands. Post office, pharmacy, asking someone to hold a door.
Errand English is underrated. People study grammar for years but freeze at the pharmacy counter.
Because errands move fast and there's no time to plan a perfect sentence.
Which is exactly why short, reliable phrases matter more than grammar perfection in these moments.
Right. I'm just looking, thanks. Do you have this in a smaller size? Could you hold this for me? Simple, useful, done.
I actually used "I'm just looking thanks" wrong for months. I kept saying "I just look" and nobody corrected me, they just understood from context.
That happens constantly, and it's actually a good sign. It means communication worked, even with a small mistake.
True, people are usually more forgiving than we expect.
So here's where I want to land this first part. Daily English isn't about knowing more words. It's about knowing your 10 or 15 most used tools so well that your hand reaches for them automatically. So let's go a little deeper now, because I want to talk about the moments when daily English actually gets emotional, not just practical.
Emotional how?
Like when someone's rude to you, or you're running late, or you have to say no to something. Those small moments carry real feelings, even if the sentences are short.
Oh, that's true. I never thought of "sorry, I'm running behind" as emotional, but it kind of is. There's a little bit of stress hiding inside it.
Exactly. And knowing the phrase means you can say it calmly instead of panicking and going silent.
Can I share a different story here? Because mine is a bit more embarrassing than yours.
Go for it.
So, early on, my manager asked me to help with something, and I was already overloaded. I wanted to say no politely, but I didn't know how, so I just said yes. And then I stayed at work until 9 at night, silently regretting everything.
Oh, Daniel, that's rough.
What I actually needed was something like, "I can't take this on right now, but maybe tomorrow." Simple sentence. Would have saved me 3 hours.
That's such a good point, though, because a lot of learners think saying no requires some big explanation.
Right, and it really doesn't.
I appreciate it, but I can't works in almost any daily situation. Store, work, even with friends.
I actually disagree a little, though, just to add some balance here. With close friends, I think a plain "I can't" sometimes feels too cold. You need a tiny bit more warmth.
That's fair, actually. Tone matters more than the exact words sometimes.
Right, so maybe with friends, it's more like, I really wish I could, but I can't today.
See, that's the kind of variation that makes English feel human instead of robotic. Same idea, different warmth level depending on who you're talking to.
Which is something textbooks rarely teach.
Never. Textbooks give you one version and stop there.
Let's talk misunderstanding for a second, because I think a lot of learners fear this specifically.
The fear of not understanding someone.
Yes, like what if they answer too fast and you just stand there blank?
Honestly, that happens to native speakers too, more than people think.
It really does. My own grandmother makes me repeat myself constantly, and English is her first language.
Exactly. So a phrase like, "Sorry, could you say that again?" isn't a sign of weak English. It's just normal conversation maintenance.
I love that phrase, conversation maintenance, like oiling a machine.
Kind of, yeah. Or another one, "What do you mean by that?" Which is great because it asks for clarity without sounding confused or lost.
I use that one a lot with slang, actually. Someone says something casual and I just ask directly.
Which is smart. Most people are happy to explain. They're not judging you.
Let's do another situation, something social this time, meeting someone new at a gathering.
Oh, that's a nerve-wracking one for a lot of learners.
It really is. You want to sound friendly but not weird, interested but not intense.
The easiest opener, honestly, is just, "So, how do you know everyone here?" It's simple, and it gives the other person something easy to answer.
I actually used that exact line at a friend's birthday party once and ended up talking for 20 minutes with a total stranger.
See, that's the power of one reliable phrase. It opens a door, and the conversation kind of walks through by itself.
And if things go quiet, "Anyway, it was really nice meeting you," closes things politely without any awkward silence.
Perfect exit line. Every toolbox needs one of those too, a phrase to leave gracefully.
Now, here's a question for whoever's listening. Think about a conversation that felt awkward recently. Was it the opening, the middle, or the ending that felt hardest?
Because honestly, most people struggle with just one of those three spots, not all of them.
True, mine's always the ending. I never know how to leave a conversation gracefully.
Mine used to be openings until I started using the same 2 or 3 lines every time. Once you trust your opener, everything after gets easier.
That's such a good way to put it, trusting your opener. Actually, one more situation because I think it's such a common one. Asking for help when you're lost or confused about directions.
Oh, that's a big one. So many learners tell me they'd rather walk in the wrong direction for 20 minutes than ask a stranger for help.
I've done that. Genuinely walked in circles because I was too nervous to open my mouth.
Which is such a shame because, excuse me, do you know where the nearest station is such a light, easy sentence. It doesn't demand much from the other person either.
And if you don't fully understand the answer, you can always say, sorry, one more time, which way, and point in a direction. People usually help with gestures too.
Exactly. Communication isn't only words. Hands, pointing, nodding, all of that carries meaning too.
That actually takes some pressure off, doesn't it? Knowing your whole message doesn't have to be perfect grammar.
It really does. I think learners sometimes imagine a conversation like a test with one correct answer, when really it's more like a dance. You adjust, you repeat, you gesture, you laugh a little.
A dance. I like that. Some steps are a bit clumsy, and that's fine.
Completely fine. Nobody's grading your footwork at the grocery store.
All right, one more quick thought before we wrap this section up. I think a lot of learners also worry about sounding rude by accident, especially with short phrases.
That's a real concern, actually. Short can sometimes feel blunt if your tone is flat.
Right, so even a small please or thanks so much at the end softens almost anything.
That's such a simple fix, and it makes a huge difference in how a phrase lands.
See, even I catch myself sometimes dropping the softeners when I'm in a hurry.
So if we zoom out, this whole toolbox idea works because it removes pressure. You're not inventing new sentences every time. You're reaching for something familiar.
And familiar things feel calm, even in a new language.
Exactly. Which brings us to something we promised earlier, pulling all these tools together in one place.
Right, time to actually open the toolbox properly.
Now, here is the word walk, 5 useful words and phrases from today's episode.
Word 1. Can I get? Can I get means a simple way to ask for something politely. For example, can I get the bill, please?
Word 2. Running behind. Running behind means arriving later than planned. For example, I'm running behind. I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Word 3. Take this on. Take this on means to accept a task or responsibility. For example, I can't take this on right now, sorry.
Word 4. Say that again? Say that again means asking someone to repeat what they said. For example, sorry, could you say that again?
Word 5. Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you is a friendly way to end a first conversation. For example, anyway, it was really nice meeting you.
Which one of these 5 will you try this week?
If this episode helped, please like and subscribe. It helps more learners find us.
I'm Grace.
And I'm Daniel.
You've been listening to Beyond English Class. See you in the next one.